How do I start a quiet time and where? A quiet time or QT with God is essential in relationship building with Him. As we've already covered, you need some basic elements in building that relationship: time, communication, circumstances, your attitude, and even your objectives. Now it's time to get down to the tangibles. And with all things, our primary example is Jesus, most tangible thing we can get from God. All other Bible characters are simply a copy of the best. In discipleship, in particular, you need to focus on the Gospels and what Jesus did and didn't do in church building and maturing through His discipleship into His disciples. We have recorded His prayers, His time alone, His teachings, and other things. Take some time in the four Gospels: Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. There you will discover way more than I can tell you here. Let's look quickly at one occasion in Mark 1:35, where we see Jesus' example about a QT. And in the morning, rising up a great while before day, He went out and departed into a solitary place, and there prayed. Now let's dissect this verse phrase by phrase. In the morning, I find personally that reading and praying first thing, after coffee of course, is essential for me. If I wait until later, I find my day eats me up way more than the other way around. A QT first thing isn't an option for me. Again, at the least, having some reading and speaking with God is absolutely vital. You may be more clear-headed in the afternoon, and that's understandable, maybe on a break from work or even that evening. But my suggestion is first thing. You need to do more study and more reading later on. Even King David said many times that he woke up early in the morning to meet with God, to have some time alone with Him, in Psalm 5, Psalm 143, and many other places. Rising up a great while before day, it says. Some objections to a quiet time is not having enough time, people say. Well, get up earlier. That is what Jesus did. Make that sacrifice for your relationship. It's worth it because your relationship is worth it. If your early is 8 a.m., then cool. If it's 4 a.m., well then God bless you. This isn't a hard, fast principle, but it is an example set before us by many Bible characters. It also says He went out. Sometimes it is necessary to get out of the house to the office. When I worked at Walmart or in construction, I would go sit in my truck, read and pray while on lunch. Now it does me good to go outside and sit at the deck or on the front porch. I rarely study in my quiet time anyways, so the concentration isn't distracting, while in God's creation, talking to the one who created it. If I do find something to study, I write it down and come back to it later in the day, typically. It also says in that verse, departed into a solitary place. Playing off what we just said, it is important that there is some quiet in your quiet time. Getting alone is key. That may take some real crafty work on your part or getting up earlier like we already said. This is especially true if you have small children. Now, when our kids were younger, I used all my ninja skills just to make it outside with a cup of coffee and a Bible in my hand. You may have to do that and even more so, but it's important, that solitary place, an actual alone, quiet time. The phrase, and there prayed. I can't tell you enough how important prayer is. It is the most vital thing that you have attached to your Christian life. It is the most powerful element you have. Here and now, I can't detail it in this format, but I will in later episodes. Frankly, the simplest piece of advice I can give you for now is this: stop leaving a voicemail. So often our prayers are one-sided, like we're leaving a voicemail for God to pick up and get back to us later. Remember the admonition, be still and know that I am God. Listening is key in communication. From all of the Greek words used for prayer in the New Testament, my favorite one is where we get our English word dialogue. Dialogos. It's important, folks, that you get alone and actually speak and listen. Pray to your Heavenly Father. You are going to talk to a lot of people in the next few days, and some of them you'll engage in deep dialogue. I can't think of a greater person to do that with than Jesus. He loves me, wants to hear from me, and is glorified when I sacrifice time for Him. Why not make Him important? Why not make Him first? After all, He's earned it. I hope this helps you. We will dig a little deeper next time into more tangibles to help you in your walk with God.